implementing the law of reciprocity into your NDIS business and into your NDIS marketing is going to help you bring clients back over and over again. It's going to help you attract new clients by giving and through generosity. The law of reciprocity, it goes back generations to the biblical days. Luke 6:38, give and it will be given to you. We see this over and over again now in business, and it is quite a strong push towards reciprocity. So my name is Greg Chadwick. I'm an NDIS strategic marketer and website design agency owner. I've been in the disability sector for the last almost 20 years now. So 2005, I started out in this disability sector. And here on the Gold Coast, I also have my own disability organization. So I bring these thoughts to you, and I bring this stuff to you, and education through value from a position of experience, from a position of coaching hundreds of providers now. So today I really wanted to help you understand that law of reciprocity, and maybe you're already doing this, but you're not actually understanding that you're doing this or seeing that you're doing this. So what is reciprocity? It's the idea of giving with the possibility of reciprocating. So it goes back to the word reciprocate. But usually when we talk about the law of reciprocity, it is giving without really a greedy intention. So without the thought of I need to get something back, but through the law of reciprocity and through whatever it is, through the universe, whether you're a spiritual person or whether it's a subconscious act, or whether it just inherently goes back to the ingrained feeling that we have, and humans are hardwired to want to give back and to actually want to give. So you see this in everyday life when you're driving along, somebody gives you a wave or a finger, yeah, hey, in a positive finger or a negative finger. And often the first thing that come back will be another wave. It's ingrained. It just happens subconsciously. When you receive a gift out of the blue, and you're like, oh man, I didn't bring you a gift. So you feel that sense of guilt that now I owe you something. Now I feel like I owe you something. And it is in proportion. Okay. So for example, if I give someone a gift or a kind thank you or something like this, I'm not expecting a Ferrari in return. So reciprocity does come back through proportion. Maybe you open or hold a door for somebody and they say thank you and they really appreciate that, and they buy you a coffee. Maybe it will go a little bit above and beyond, but it doesn't usually exceed those extreme values when we're looking at reciprocity. So I often hear from NDIS providers, we go above and beyond. When I'm building websites for NDIS providers and when we're having our discovery call, what makes you different? We go above and beyond. We've done, so much without taking any money, or we've helped people get onto the NDIS and then that sort of thing. And this is where we do see some reciprocity. It's so often if somebody helps someone actually connect with these services or put someone in touch with people and able to do these sorts of things, like establish, get an OT so that they can get on the NDIS, they do see reciprocity, and they often come back to want to use your services with these sorts of things. There's so many different ways in the disability sector that we can show reciprocity through your business, through retention, through marketing. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I will give you some examples. And I think an example that I've seen in my own life. So my son was diagnosed at a young age with hemophilia, which means his blood can't clot. So when he gets injuries and that sort of thing. So we spent quite a bit of time in hospital in the early days of his life. So, but when I was walking through the Gold Coast show, it's kind of like the Ekka or the Sydney Easter show and these sorts of things. I had a man come up to me tying a balloon, tying I think it was a sword at the time. He was tying a sword at the time. And while he was standing there, he was building this sword and talking to us about what he does and what their charity does and that sort of thing. And it really kind of touched us and in a way, because they are helping. They're clowns, so they help young children. They go to children's hospitals. They do fun stuff with them, and they keep their spirits up and that sort of thing. And we spent a bit of time in hospital, so it did kind of touch us. But the fact that they gave us that balloon, and through reciprocity, it just felt like inherently that, we owed these people something, that and that we'd been given such good care in hospitals and all these sorts of things, that we owed, owed something back to this community and to these people. So inherently, through the law of reciprocity, that was many years ago now, and all they asked for was $1 a day. And at the time, we were doing all right financially. So we were fine. Yeah, okay, let's do this. So we signed up, and to this day, we still continue to have that come out of and it's a business deduction as well. So it was a no-brainer for us. They had that irresistible offer, like I talk about all the time. They had that offer, they had reciprocity, and they pulled on those heartstrings. So looking through marketing like that was a really cool way. And I would actually recommend as well, that's a really cool thing to do. Rather than sitting at an expo behind a desk and waiting for people to come up to you, get out in front of the desk, learn to tie 3 different things: a dog, a sword, and a hat. If you can tie those 3 things on YouTube, super simple. I'm very good at it now because, as you know, I've done over 300 disability camps, and I used to just tie and tie and tie and show kids how to tie. So I'm quite good at those 3 things now. But it's really simple to learn, and I think you could actually have that time to talk and build a relationship and build a rapport while you're tying your balloon animal or whatever that is. But that's going off track a little bit, but I do think that's really valuable if you want to implement that into something. So the other things we see, reciprocity, another great thing is free events, giving free. When we talk about free stuff, and like I mentioned, make sure it solves a problem. We're not looking for sausages in the park or just picnics and that sort of thing. Through reciprocity, giving free, it still has to add value. So when we give free back to the community, especially when you're starting out, you don't have any trust in the disability sector. You don't know anybody, nobody knows you, so why would they want to work with you? So let's build some trust. Let's create a free event, a free activity that is going to really help change somebody's lives at no cost. Okay, because in the beginning, you're Beyonce singing in the shower. You have no stage. Nobody knows who you are. It's just you and the shower curtain and an amazing voice. And I know that you have a great heart. I know that if you start a disability business, there's a 99% chance that you are in this for the right reasons, because I've met hundreds of providers, and most of the time they're in the right reason. They just go off track a little bit. Sometimes they need a bit of help, and that's where we help to bring you back on track. And I hope these videos continue to add value to that as well. So create your stage by offering a free event, offering something that adds a huge amount of value, massive, for free. And even going as far, when we're talking about reciprocity, even going as far as, hey, let's make the profits of this. If it's not going to be free, let's take the profits of this, and we're going to donate it all to our favorite charity. And that way you've got some collaboration as well, so you're able to pull the strings on some collaboration as well. Now I really want to insist that when we talk about reciprocity, I have seen people go really far down the track of reciprocity, and you don't want to go down. You don't want to give until the wheels fall off, because it can burn you out. It can make it really, really hard for you to continue on in the disability sector, if you just give and you never receive. So I want to stress that it is okay to pitch, but we have to pitch in a genuine and a really genuine way to be able to say, hey, look, we've been giving and giving. Let's find out a little bit more about your goals, because I think that we can reach your goals. I'd love to hear more about you. And I think that maybe we could start on a Friday once a week, start working toward those goals incrementally. How does that sound to you? Is that something you'd be interested in? So, not going in with a huge sale pitch, but just making sure it all comes back to the goals and the needs of the people that we support. So I know that if you have stuck to this, and that you've been really working hard at building reciprocity that you will see it come back to you in the end. And I know whether it be at a spiritual level or whether it be just to come back to you. And so it's at this point that I would really appreciate your reciprocity, that I'd be really grateful if you could like and comment and subscribe. If you got some value from this video or the videos that you've been watching, keep in touch, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.